Black girl, do not frown. We can't afford for your crown to hit the ground. Black girl, your kink is a representation of the thickness of skin you must have in this world. And your resilience is embedded in your woolly curls. Black girl, your complexion is your protection. So don't let anyone tell you it's anything less than perfection. Your smile is rare, but when you use it, make sure it leaves a glare. A glare that beams on the highest vibration, that even when you experience grief, it appears as a celebration. A celebration because there's something bigger to be received. And if you haven't experienced this life hack yet, when you do, you'll know just what I mean. Wink. Now let that sink in. Let it marinate so deep that you pass it to your next of kin. Listen even closer to this part. The truest warrior is not afraid to give her heart, knowing that it can be mistreated, broken, and misused. As long as your intentions are pure, when it's time for what's meant to be yours, it will never be refused. Black girl, you are great. So you should be mad when they don't hate. Now hold still and wear your crown proud, because we can't afford for your crown to hit the ground. Black woman.
Black history is important because, largely because of the fact that it has been hidden from us. Um, so many great strides have been taken to obscure, delete, rewrite, rearrange the facts of our history. Um, and you only bury treasure. So that says to me, um, you only try to control that which is powerful. So there's so much Black history that the masses, and sadly, a large number of Black people, are unaware of. And so I believe that if we begin to uncover, discover, understand, respect, embrace, and value our history in its totality, then our collective power will unfold and we'll be free to exert our collective power, of course, for good, but we could end our own suffering.
Black history has tremendous value to me because it is my heritage. And anywhere or any place you go in the world, you will find that Black people were a part of that history. There's almost nowhere you can go where that's not true, being the original people. So, if you're going to tell history, then you're going to tell stories of the past. There's no way to tell the story without telling that story. And if you're omitting it, then you're not telling the whole story. It's just the sequence of events and the sequence of the story. You don't get to omit part of it. So it is very, very important to me, the whole story of Black history.
Importance of Black history to me is very important. Along with all my ancestors had to go through and deal with, just so I could be free and roam around this world, it doesn't go unnoticed, and I don't take that for granted. And I also think it's so dope to be Black because we inspire so many other people and so many other races to want to know about our history and why we do what we do.
Black history is essential to the way that we see ourselves and see our people. It's essential to the way that we measure our success, our strength, our perseverance, and how we gauge our future.
Knowing your history and where you come from is part of knowing where you're going. So the importance of knowing Black history, factual history, and going back into ancestors and what has happened before so that you do not repeat the past, as well as to help you create and form the future.
One of the underlying themes of your life should be progression. And in order to make progress, I think you have to know where you come from. And, it sounds cliche, but looking back at all the accomplishments that Black people before my time and during my time here have made, it just gives me that confidence that I can do big things. I remember, going into maybe like the seventh or eighth grade, my mom used to make me read this series of books about people, about Black people and Black history. And it was during the summer, when I want to play basketball and do my own thing, just what I would consider having fun. But she made sure that I would read all those books. And by the time she got home from work, I had to give her basically a summary of what I read about, who I read about, their accomplishments, what I thought about it, why it's important, all that kind of stuff. And back then I'm thinking like, man, I got to do this every day. I had to get a book, pick a person, do this every day. But I look back now and I think that was one of the most memorable and one of the most important things I think that she did, because it just made me think deeper than just, oh, it's summertime, let's have some fun and play. It made me think about history, and it made me think about where I'm going and what I can do. So Black history it's really important. It's really important.
Even Black history still being relevant is the creations. Like Madam C.J. Walker, for instance, she invented the pressing code. Thank you, God, for Madam C.J. Walker. You hear me? Because it would be a lot of women out here really thinking about solutions to that problem. Or Benjamin Banneker. He invented the clock, so even though, we can't be on time a lot of times, but, he invented the clock so we won't be late. So I think that a lot of the stuff that's going on right now, as far as just in life, street light, all from Black people. So it's like we needed the stuff then. They thought about it, economizing, supply and demand. And hey, it's still needed today.
A tricky thing with Black history, because as important as it is to know where we come from, it kind of blinds us to on what's in front of us and what we need to do to go. It's like, I don't like that we still use what happened to our ancestors as a way to say we can't do something now. Yes, it's hard as fuck to be Black, and it's been even harder than it is now back then. But I think we just focus more on the celebratory things that Black people did and creating new Black history. Because my daughters have only seen 2 presidents. The first one they saw was Black. So there's a different mindset. The information is here now. It's just different. So I love Black history because it shows where we came from, but I just don't want it to keep stopping us from where we could go.
Just how amazing you are. Just how great your lineage is. And just how bomb you will become. So when my son comes to me and he asks me, Mommy, do you think I could be president one day? I smile and say, absolutely. If he says, can I be an inventor or a doctor or a lawyer or an astronaut or anything amazing? I say yes, with no hesitation. And it's not because he's my son and I think he's amazing, though he is. But it's because I have history to back me. I have thousands of ancestors who stand behind me. It not only empowers us, but it teaches us. It celebrates us in all our facets. You are a legacy of doctors and lawyers, inventors and creators, move makers and room shakers, actors and bakers, athletes, singers, speakers, activists. You come from greatness. So you have no choice but to be great. And when society or the media or anybody and anything try to convince you otherwise, history debunks anything they could say. And the best part about it is Black history is American history. Because we're not just talking about what we've done for our community, but Black history equals the building of this country. Black history equals the forming of these lands. Black history equals breastfeeding a nation. It gives you an idea of all the things that has already been accomplished by men and women just like you and me. We have to know our history.